In Avengers Endgame, Tony Stark's pivotal decision resonates throughout the climax of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. His choice to wield the Infinity Stones and execute the iconic snap ultimately saves the universe from Thanos' tyranny, but at the cost of his own life. This decision highlights themes of sacrifice, heroism, and the complexity of moral choices. If Tony Stark had chosen differently, perhaps opting for a collaborative strategy or seeking an alternative solution, the course of events and the fate of the universe might have been profoundly altered. The significance of this point lies in its exploration of decision making and consequences, quintessential elements of storytelling that engage audiences on a personal level. Tony Stark's decision illustrates the hero's journey archetype, where sacrifice is central to achieving a greater good. This narrative arc not only defines his character, but also serves as a linchpin for the film's broader themes of teamwork, redemption, and ultimately, hope. In real world contexts, Tony Stark's decision can be paralleled with historical and contemporary examples of individuals making sacrificial choices for a greater cause. Consider the actions of figures like Martin Luther King Jr., whose commitment to civil rights demanded personal sacrifice, or modern day whistleblowers who, like Stark, face dire consequences for the benefit of societal welfare. These real world parallels underscore the narrative's impact and relevance, inviting audiences to contemplate the weight of their own choices. Opinions supporting Stark's choice often highlight the necessity of sacrifice in leadership roles, where tough decisions are crucial to achieving significant outcomes. Proponents argue that his willingness to lay down his life cements his legacy as the quintessential hero. However, there are challenges and alternative viewpoints to consider. Some critics argued that the film could have explored less lethal solutions, suggesting that Stark's decision, while heroic, represents a narrative tendency to valorize self-destruction over strategic problem-solving. This focal point connects intrinsically to the broader narrative of Avengers Endgame. Stark's choice influences the trajectory of other key characters, such as Peter Parker and Pepper Potts, and sets the stage for future story arcs within the Marvel Universe. It also challenges viewers to grapple with the morality of sacrifice, exploring whether the ends justify the means. By analyzing Tony Stark's decision through this lens, audiences gain a deeper understanding of its ramifications, not only within the fictional universe, but also in their reflections on real-life ethical dilemmas. Exploring the original decision and its consequences in Avengers Endgame delves into one of the film's pivotal moments: Tony Stark's choice to use the Infinity Stones to defeat Thanos, knowing it would cost him his life. This decision is the climax of Tony's character arc, transforming him from a self-absorbed genius billionaire into a selfless hero willing to sacrifice everything for the greater good. It's significant because it not only concludes Tony's narrative in this Marvel Cinematic Universe, but underscores themes of sacrifice and redemption that permeate the film. The importance of Tony's decision can be seen in how it affects both the fictional world and the audience. For instance, his sacrifice alters the lives of the surviving Avengers, propelling characters like Spider-Man to grow emotionally as they confront their grief and continue Tony's legacy. Another example is the impact on the MCU's universe, where his action leads to a stabilizing peace, allowing for new narratives to unfold, such as those seen in Spider-Man Far From Home and WandaVision. Support for Tony's decision is evident in the overwhelming positive reception from both critics and audiences, who viewed his sacrifice as a fitting and heroic end for the character. This decision encapsulates the idea that true heroism often involves personal sacrifice for the collective good, resonating strongly with the audience. However, there are potential challenges or alternative viewpoints. Some critics argue that Tony's decision reaffirms a trope of martyrdom prevalent in superhero narratives, potentially overshadowing more nuanced portrayals of heroism. Others suggest different paths Tony could have taken, like using the stones to incapacitate Thanos without self-sacrifice. This fuels discussions on whether his death was necessary or merely a dramatic choice for narrative closure. Tony's decision profoundly influences other aspects of Avengers Endgame, especially in terms of legacy and thematic depth. It acts as a catalyst for introspection among the Avengers, prompting characters like Captain America to reflect on their lives and choices. This, in turn, sets the stage for their own decisions, such as Steve Rogers passing the mantle of Captain America to Sam Wilson. In essence, exploring Tony Stark's original decision emphasizes the hero's journey and the impactful nature of sacrifice, demonstrating how one choice can ripple through a narrative landscape, affecting the course of stories and characters in meaningful ways. In the realm of storytelling, especially within the expansive Marvel Cinematic Universe, the exploration of alternative scenarios allows audiences to delve into the what ifs of crucial plot points. The heading, Alternative Scenarios. The different decisions Tony Stark could have made invites us to reimagine the trajectory of Avengers Endgame by considering how different choices by Tony Stark might have altered the narrative's landscape. This concept centers on the pivotal moment when Tony Stark, faced with the burden of the universe's fate, decides to use the Infinity Stones to defeat Thanos, ultimately sacrificing himself. Such a decision anchors the film's emotional core and resolution. The significance of this point lies in its speculative exploration of character agency and narrative consequences. Had Tony Stark made different decisions, perhaps prioritizing his own life or attempting a less self-sacrificial solution, the outcome for the Avengers and the universe might have shifted dramatically. This exploration expands the narrative's depth, inviting viewers to contemplate themes of sacrifice, heroism, and the weight of decisions. For instance, if Tony had chosen not to wield the Infinity Stones, perhaps seeking another way to defeat Thanos, the Avengers might have faced longer-term battles, resulting in increased casualties or a prolonged conflict. In another scenario, if Tony had developed technology to harness the stone's power without sacrificing his life, the balance of power within the universe could have been altered, potentially leading to moral and ethical dilemmas around wielding such immense power. The idea of alternative decisions is supported by some fans and critics who appreciate the richness these explorations bring, enhancing emotional engagement and offering opportunities to revisit beloved characters and storylines from a fresh perspective. However, this concept also faces challenges and controversies as it ventures into the realm of speculative fiction, where not all alternate paths maintain the original narrative's coherence or emotional resonance. Some might argue that Tony's ultimate decision was the culmination of his character arc, representing growth from a self-centered billionaire to a selfless hero. The exploration of alternative scenarios enriches our understanding of Avengers Endgame throughout Shield, influencing character development and offering nuanced discussions about fate, choice, and consequence within the narrative. By examining these different paths, audiences gain deeper insights into the complexities of heroism and the narrative significance of Tony Stark's ultimate sacrifice. This tends to reinforce the main themes, highlighting how individual choices can reshape destiny's fabric, ensuring Avengers Endgame remains a poignant, multifaceted tale in the Marvel saga. In a reimagined scenario from Avengers Endgame, what if Tony Stark had made a different decision during the climactic battle against Thanos? Such a shift could have significantly altered the outcome of the battle. The concept revolves around the idea that pivotal choices define the course of a conflict. In Endgame, Tony Stark's decision to wield the Infinity Stones and defeat Thanos came at the ultimate cost of his own life. This act was not only a display of heroism, but also served as the linchpin for the Avengers' victory. Imagining an alternative decision opens up an intriguing exploration of how the battle might have concluded differently. The importance of this point lies in its exploration of character agency and the narrative consequences of their choices. The speculation offers a lens into Tony Stark's character growth throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe, emphasizing the weight of personal sacrifice versus strategic decision-making. By choosing a different path, Stark might have attempted a more cautious approach, seeking alternatives that could have minimized loss on both sides. This potential storyline underscores the narrative tension between selflessness and pragmatism. Two illustrative examples highlight this concept's exploration of decisions and their consequences. In real-world leadership, individuals in positions of power often face critical decisions that alter the course of events, such as presidents in wartime or CEOs steering a company through a crisis. Furthermore, alternate history as a genre thrives on similar premises, pondering what-if scenarios, such as Winston Churchill negotiating peace with Nazi Germany, reshapes our understanding of pivotal historical events and highlights the butterfly effect of decisions. Supporters of such speculative storytelling argue it enriches character development and offers audiences a more nuanced understanding of narrative stakes. It provides a canvas for exploring Tony Stark's internal dilemmas and the broader implications of the Avengers' strategies. However, potential challenges accompany this exercise in imagination. Some may argue that altering a beloved storyline could undermine the established emotional resonance and closure it originally provided. Critics may feel that such alternative narratives detract from Stark's ultimate sacrifice and the power of his decision. Ultimately, this exploration connects to the broader theme of heroism in Avengers Endgame as it probes the delicate balance between personal sacrifice and strategic initiatives. By considering how a single decision impacts the battle against Thanos, we gain insight into the complexity of choices facing our heroes and appreciate the narrative depth it adds to the final chapter of the Infinity Saga.